78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty LDBC, Lions Den boxing community. For those who don't know now, you know. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe of ESPN First Take went in on boxing, on the state of boxing right now, and they were absolutely correct. So before I play what Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe had to say, I'm going to give you my thoughts briefly. So the news came out that what they're going to be discussing is that Canelo Alvarez has put it out there that he's going to be fighting Jermell Charlo's brother. What am I talking about? He's going to be fighting Jermell Charlo's brother, Jamal Charlo, okay? Twin brother, all right? So Jermell Charlo went out there and laid an egg. Horrible fight. Nobody wanted to see that. See Jermell Charlo after that, horrible performance. He didn't put up no effort versus Canelo. He just wanted to survive. Now his big brother, the bigger of the two brothers, Jamal Charlo, is going to be fighting Canelo Cinco de Mayo in a few months, right? Canelo says he's going to fight Jamal and then fight Terrence Crawford in September on Mexican Independence Day or whatever. Now, they asked Stephen A. Smith how he felt about it. He went in. He was upset, highly upset because of Canelo Alvarez, the years of him ducking David Benavidez. So let me play what Stephen A. Smith had to say, and then we'll go over it as we go through it.
To that news.
I'm pretty pissed off. I'm very, very pissed off about this. I don't like it at all. First of all, Charlo, and I'm assuming this is the natural middleweight Charlo, not the Charlo Canelo just beat. This guy, openly, I root for him, Shannon Sharpe, I truly do. But he's had some personal issues, which is why he's been away from the boxing game for so many years, okay? We all know that his little brother had no business in the ring with Canelo simply because he was undersized, moving up 2 weight classes.
Absolutely. Jermell Charlo was undisputed at 154 pounds, doing a phenomenal job. For whatever reason, he didn't want to fight Tim Tszyu, which started a firestorm of by him making that decision not to fight Tim Tszyu, caused a lot of issues in the sport of boxing. He could have been possibly could have beat Tim Tszyu and been fighting Terrence Crawford right now in a huge fight, but he messed up and he chased the Canelo fight.
To fight the powerful Canelo. The minute he hit him and saw that it couldn't affect him, all of a sudden, Canelo started stalking him from the second round on, for crying out loud. We know that his bigger brother hasn't been fighting that much, so I'm worried about that. But here's the biggest reason that I'm pissed off. Canelo Alvarez, it doesn't matter who he fights, he's going to get paid. Because we know that contingent that follows him is damn near like a cult following. I say that in a compliment.
Woo, let's talk about it now. This is the problem with boxing. Once a fighter builds a fan base that will accept you fighting anybody, no matter what you do, you can do no wrong. They're going to be there to support, just like certain political parties. We ain't gonna get into politics, but every 4 years we voting this way. I don't care as long as I see that letter before the person's name. That's what I'm voting for. Once they got you on that level, then they pretty much do whatever they want to do to you. You know what I'm saying? And these guys, these boxers, fighters who have fan bases like that, pretty much got it made, and that's why. And the fans have contributed to the downfall of boxing as well.
Fashion, not in any negative fashion whatsoever. They love this man. They revere this man. They follow him wherever he goes. He's one of the biggest, if not the biggest draw in boxing. Canelo Alvarez is spectacular. But there's a dude by the name of David Benavidez, who is a super middleweight, Shannon. He is 28-0 with 24 knockouts. And he has been waiting for years to fight Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo Alvarez has been avoiding him.
Ducking.
Now, this is not right. This is the problem.
Canelo has been ducking David Benavidez for years. Go ahead and say it. He's been ducking him. And boxing fans have allowed him to do this. And it's embarrassing. I mean, at first I was kind of like, what's all the hoopla about? But, man, this dude, Canelo, is with no shame ducking David Benavidez and getting paid $50 million a whop to beat up on dudes like the Charlo brothers. You know what I'm saying? Now, those were good fights back in the day when Canelo was at 160. Oh, those were good fights. That's when we were asking for them. Charlo didn't want the fights back then. He didn't want them, right? But now they're giving it to us when the fights are irrelevant. When Jamal Charlo has had mental health issues and been out of boxing for 2 years. When Jamel Charlo is doing whatever he's doing. Like, it's just, man, I don't know. PBC just cashing these dudes in. I don't know what they're doing right now.
But see, this is why I love Dana White so much with the UFC. Because when the public clamors for a fight, you're going to fight that person. You're not going to be able to avoid them for years and not fight. You get in an argument in the streets, and Dana White will be like, y'all going to go in the octagon. We going to get paid for this. Y'all going to settle this in the damn octagon, okay? Boxing promoters hold fans hostage, make you wait for years. They're all guilty of it. They're all guilty of it. And I'm sick of it, okay? David Benavidez has waited years. How much better can it get, Shannon, when you 28-0 with 24 KOs and you waiting for the dude? Terrence Crawford not fighting Boots Ennis. I love Boots Ennis, who's undefeated and stuff like that, and I get that. But Terrence Crawford had just had his mega fight. He hasn't been in Canelo Alvarez's position for years, where you have your pick.
For those who don't know, Terrence Crawford is not fighting Earl Spence. It don't look like it, at least reportedly. He won't be fighting Earl Spence in the rematch due to I guess Earl Spence having the surgery, the eye surgery.
Of the litter, because you're the draw and you can fight whoever you choose to fight, okay? Canelo Alvarez, how many fights are you going to have before you avoid giving Benavidez the chance he so richly deserves? I'm really ticked off about it. It ain't right. It ain't right.
I get what you're saying, Stephen A., but guys have figured out the sport of boxing that if I can make $20 million and fight somebody that I know I can beat, why would I take a chance and fight somebody for $30 million?
Which is why Gervonta Tank Davis is openly ducking Devin Haney, and his fans are okay with it. That's why.
And that's what these guys do. And the difference is between boxing and UFC, you might be the champion, but you don't control anything. Dana White still controls it.
Woo! Excellent point, Shannon. Excellent point. That's a big difference in boxing and the UFC. Dana White holds the power. The fighters in the UFC don't have that kind of leverage to pull these duck tactics that a lot of guys are doing in the sport of boxing.
And so if you're the champion, you're going to fight the number 1 contender. It ain't I think I want to fight the number 10 contender because I think I got a greater chance of beating him. That's not how it works in UFC, but that's how it works because what guys are trying to do now, and I love Floyd Mayweather, but what he did was ruin the sport of boxing because everybody is worried about that zero. And some guys that got zero says, well, if I get any more losses than what I already have, I'm going to be judged more harshly. And when they talk about great fighters, they're not going to give me my due because I'm going to have 3 or 4 losses.
Well, y'all can go watch the interview. The interview is on YouTube. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharpe, talking about this situation. I don't want to play the whole interview. It's too long. But you get the point and gist of what they're saying. And what's going on here is basically this boxing fans and boxing in general, the big wigs should be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you really have to think about this. This is not a game, bro. If we love this sport, we have to really pay attention to what's being said here. Okay, boxing as a popular sport. My brother Blue Blood had just brought this up the other day. As boxing is constantly every year falling in popularity. It really is. More and more fans every year are being turned off from the sport, okay? And the fighters don't seem to care. The promoters and the managers don't seem to care. They don't care if boxing is here when they're gone. They just want to make as much money as they can make now, and they don't care what state they leave the sport of boxing in. They don't care. They honestly don't care. But we, the fans, have to care. And this is why we keep stressing in the LDBC. We keep stressing for the best to fight the best and to hold these guys accountable, right? And this is why a lot of people don't like us. They'll make up all these other rumors why they don't like us. Oh, they hate on this guy and that guy. But in reality, we pissed them off somewhere along the way when we start talking about we want to see the best fight the best. When we start saying this guy's ducking this guy and this guy should fight that guy, that's when people get upset with us. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you look at it like this, HBO, we all grew up watching boxing on HBO. We all did. Gone. Gave up on boxing, left because of the politics. Fans leaving the sport. But the fighters still demanding more money. Guys don't want to make good fights no more. They want you to wait 5 and 6 years, you know what I'm saying, before you even know how good somebody is, you know what I'm saying? Now you got all this time invested in somebody who might never been good. You see what I'm saying? This is the pop. HBO is gone. You have to think about that, y'all. Everybody's celebrating when HBO left. Oh, yeah, that's what they get, blah, blah, blah. Set tripping, right? Guess what? Now Showtime's gone. Showtime. We grew up watching HBO and Showtime boxing. Gone. It ain't like boxing is on ABC no more. You know what I'm saying? NBC and stuff like that, unless the Olympics is coming on. It's like boxing ain't on regular TV no more. It's not on HBO and Showtime. Now we want to see boxing, we got to download an app. Boxing used to be what? Friday night fights on ESPN. Now you want to watch boxing, you got to have an app. Old head says boxing fans, or you got to explain to these people, all right, download the ESPN app to your phone. You know, and they're like, what? I don't understand it. But they rather just walk away from the sport. Man, I ain't got time. Look, what you say? The Zone. How you spell it? No, now how do I get it? Now I got to pay for this, and then I got to pay for the ESPN. I mean, what's this? Amazon. Oh, I got Amazon. Yes, on my phone. Wait a minute, I got to pay for this fight, the Keith Thurman fight, and Costa Zubor? Why I got to pay for it? Oh, this is how boxing is now. You got to pay for all the fights. Oh, man, look here, man. Turn it on them bald-headed white boys with the tattoos that be wrestling. Turn it on that one. This is what's going to happen. People going to watch the UFC, bro. They're going to watch the UFC. They're going to watch WWE. And boxing is constantly falling off because these fighters, look, I seen it coming. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us seen it coming. We tried to save the sport that we love, man. But, we got so much resistance from, we knew we was going to get resistance from the promoters and networks. But I just didn't expect this many boxing fans to be against the agenda we've been pushing. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see the best fight the best, bro. They want to keep this stuff going the way it's going now. And they want their fighter that they like to make as much money as possible. And when they guy retire, what's next? What's next for the state of boxing? Will boxing be in good hands when your favorite fighter retires? That's the question you got to ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? What would be the state of boxing when your favorite fighter retires? If guys are coming on TV, on networks that are talking about football and basketball, millions of people watching, and they down in boxing and talking about how trash boxing is, Canelo don't want to fight a fight that fans want to see him fight. Not that the fight, this ain't like this is some Canelo don't want to fight some mandatory, right? But let's be real. This is not like a situation where Canelo is the money man in boxing and his mandatory is some guy that nobody want to see him fight, but the guy's pushing for the fight. See, back in the day, you still had to fight that guy. But this ain't even one of those situations. This is a fight where Canelo is the money man, and he got a huge money fight on the table, but a tough fight. He don't want it. Why? Because it's too difficult. Why? Like Stephen A. Smith said, why fight a tough fight? What else, Shannon? Why fight a tough fight for X amount of dollars, for $30 million, hypothetically? You know what I'm saying? When I could just fight an easy chump fight for $20 million. Yeah, it's $10 million difference, but hey, I ain't got no loss. I'm still in the win column. And that's why we didn't get Joshua versus Wilder, and the fans sit there and made up all these excuses for Anthony Joshua. Every time it's a fight the fans are demanding, this is what happens. It's fans. They get manipulated. They get manipulated by these, even some of these YouTube channels. Some of these YouTube channels that get paid for credentials. They get paid with credentials, They say the right things, and the networks and stuff get them credentials to all of the fights. So they got to say certain things. They got to push certain agendas in order to, keep getting those credentials. So they purposely misleading you, and you don't know no better. You just like, oh, you just listening to the news. You know what I'm saying? But this is what's happening, man. Hey, I don't know, man. I don't think boxing is ever going to totally disappear. I think boxing will always be here in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Shape, form, or fashion. But I think that it's on its last leg, man. And boxing as we know it, like the glory days, I think that's a wrap for that. I don't think boxing's ever going to return to that type of glory, man, that it used to be. I just don't think so. There's too many fans that condone the stupid stuff. So, that being said, 78 Sports TV, salute to the mighty LDBC. Smash that like button, y'all. I'm up out of here. Deuces.